Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron for Kaiserreich. At the French Republic, let's continue on for last set off. So, we are trying to stop the Mali Rebellion. And we've got a handful of troops over here. I did, before starting this video, I did try to get military access to this guy to make sure maybe I could save this one dude. But I'm pretty sure he's very much just dead. And I don't think there's anything I can possibly do to save him. I could technically disband it right away. Like, it's a little bit cheesy to do that, though. So, you can kind of stay there. You are falling back. Yeah, just, like, leave now. Please and thank you. I feel like we already read this event. Did we not already read that event? Am I, like, losing my mind? And our project nears completion. Fantastic. A little bit more stability, a little bit more political power. Which actually is kind of funny because it would actually allow these guys to move their way up north and take over southern Algeria. But honestly, I don't think that's like so bad. I mean, it could be a lot worse. Let me just put it that way. We do have some decisions. I don't think I really want to do any of these though. I mean, we do have 259 political power. So you know what? Why not go up to partial mobilization? Followed up by extensive conscription. Then most of our political power on that. You are stationed to Portugal. Okay, and to Brazil. The next stop in the diplomatic voyage of Prince Henry is Lisbon, capital of the Kingdom of Portugal. A mere decade after the proclamation of the Portuguese Republic, a broad coalition of royalists took control of Lisbon and declared the restoration of the monarchy on the balcony of the Turlo Ponte, overlooking the Terreno do Paco. Definitely not saying that right. The beating heart of the city. In 1927, however, following renewed economic turmoil and national humiliation inflicted by Africa by the Germans, a coup was engineered by Lusitanian integralists, men inspired by Marat and the Action Francais, and a new government set out to restore tradition and faith in a small nation and its globe-spanning empire. Portugal had become a living experiment, a showcase of the possibility of a true counter-revolution. Portuguese implementation of the imperialist dream was followed intensely by Action Francais, each development praised in diathletic articles, each setback explained as the work of reg agitators or other saboteurs. With France following in Portugal's footsteps, the state visit seems to be seen by Lusitanian integralists as a crowning success, proving their precedence and many Portuguese as a source of national pride. The Dauphin toured the many sites of Lisbon and her surroundings, accompanied by King Dorit II, were traveling to the small village of Fatima, in a pilgrimage to the site where Virgin Mary appeared to tens of thousands. The princess and her close entourage were then retired to Pena Palace with some well-deserved rest. It seemed that the two young men bonded over their shared experience, and a budding relationship was born. And if Court Goss is to be believed, something more might unite the two. Young King Duterte was apparently struck by the beauty of Henry's sister-in-law, Brazilian Princess Marie Francisca of Orleans Bragança. I'm butchering these so badly. Accompanying her sister Isabel on the diplomatic tour, regardless of these auspicious personal bonds being forged over, one unbreakable now unite our two nations. So we now have a royal marriage. Let's go take over St. Louis, move our troops this way. We do have this potential back revolt in Mali, because that's going to be happening down here, because we don't own this city. Technically, we don't occupy the area, which is bad, because it's definitely going to rise up in rebellion very soon. Yes, keep on counterattacking, please. The Canadian Navy's showing up. There's a handful of Canadian divisions I'm hoping coming to our territory, but they might be going to India, which in a failed attempt to win a war there. There's no way in hell that's going to succeed at this point. And after this war is done, and the beginning of India completely falls, I'm hoping we can try to back Carlos Spain, or even the Kingdom of Spain, like CNT. I would say is doing a little bit too well. Okay, no, you are landing down here, Dakar. Thank you very much. I honestly do appreciate the help. I mean, I am one of the great powers in this faction, so... The backed rebellion in Guyana. The natives of Guyana have been armed and organized. We're now at war with you. You have won the 5 divisions, which is not really that many. Canada, I'm going to call you to arms in this war as well, please and thank you. And when is our railroad going to be done? So we've done it in about a month from now. We do have more units arriving very soon. More Canadian divisions are also appearing, which is nice. We're at 60. Yeah, all of you come down to here. Because you're now going to this spot. You won't do this, but you guys still will. It's very weird, like, you can't tell them to change locations unless they moved into a new zone. I don't know why it works like that, it just kind of does. Yeah, so delete this plan. You guys honestly just, like, strategically redeploy over here. Yeah, so you're moving into this territory, which is okay. Do they have any other major cities? They got one city over there. Do I have air superiority over this area? I do. These planes really are not doing anything. We'll send them over the Western Sahara as well. And there's going to be a backed revolt in Upper Volta. That also seems to be bad. Because really, the biggest problem here is that it spawns more advanced troops. And that's really our biggest concern. Yeah, but these guys are going to be arriving very soon. Go towards the front lines, please, and thank you. Actually, no, you're not part of Mali. They only have one victory point, but I doubt that's going to be enough for them to actually capitulate. Yes, these guys are moving in. Nezhan Hassan's going to war on Jabal Shamir. I think for a second time now, we'll see if this new revolt works, but I'm going to go with no. And it's going to be back in Sierra Leone. Yeah, so I mean, this is not great. I don't think I need to tell you that. For me, promoted autonomy, which will get at least some resistance down, but I don't think that really matters too much. So after this, let's go for research speed. Yeah, so you guys move in this direction. This truck, I mean, you're gonna leave in 3 days. What if you just drive over here as well? And just drive your way through the plains of Mali and try to take as many provinces as you possibly can. Could prove useful. Mexico's going to Third International, which is not great. Mostly because it's probably gonna, like, distract the Canadians, which is really not what we're wanting. Why is the Navy out? The Navy's... No, why don't you... No, Doc. What are you doing? Go back in port. You don't need to be out here. Please and thank you. Yeah, you march your way down here, go towards... Actually, you know what? Probably makes more sense for you to go... We'll go here and then go down towards Freetown. Make sure the Sierra Leone does not rise up against us. And the city of Mali is about to fall pretty soon as well. There are 3,000 casualties. We're at 21,000, but I'm sure most of those are against the Princely Federation. Mali really hasn't affected our supplies too much. Yeah, so you're going to go down like this. Okay, new movie's been, has taken the French cinemas by storm. Directed by Pierre Boulon. After numerous production delays and harsh reception by critics, the commercial success of the thriving tale of espionage is a surprise. Okay, fantastic. If it gives us some benefits, then I will not say no. Yeah, so you can move your way towards this direction. Yeah, you're moving your way just fine. This guy's not doing too much, which is okay. And a new anthem, La Marseillaise has been a national anthem of France since 1879. Though it was composed in 1792 by Claude Joseph Roget, for volunteers sending off to fight Prussian and Austrian armies. With the victory of the revolutionary forces, the song became immortal, incredibly popular. The song was undeniably a Republican symbol. However, the fate of La Marseillaise is sowing dissent even among our partisans. Many have no issues with the song, including Maurice himself, much like few have issues with the tricolors. It has accompanied Frenchmen in some most glorious moments in the last century, and its leaders could easily be understood as more broadly patriotic than Republican. On the other hand, a minority desires a total rejection of anything brought by the revolution, arguing that we could not fight one revolution while the embers of the previous one still burn. As such, they demand the reintroduction of the anthem instigated following the fall of the impostor Bonaparte. Le Retour du Prince Français à Paris, based on the melody of the popular song Vive le Roi Henri. A compromise was also proposed. The armies of the counter-revolution had themselves adopted a modified version of the song, La Marseillaise des Blancs, the Marseillaise of the Whites, with radically different lyrics, which could satisfy everyone. After all, it would be a shame to waste such a stirring melody. I mean, do we want stability? Keep the song. Give me more stability, please, and thank you. So you're going to rise up soon, which is bad. We might want to, like... I mean, we need to kind of drive here as fast as possible. But once we're no longer at war with Mali... Where are you going? You're going over there. That's fine. You guys been cut in half. One of you guys goes to this province. Guyana is also very close to capitulation. We take Freetown. That should mean that they're not going to rise up against us. Again, that's what it should mean, not necessarily what it will mean. We have 8 days to go to the capital of Upper Volta. Okay, so Guyana has fallen. Lovely. And once again, it is Eid. Send our troops over to this front line. Which should mean that Sierra Leone is not going to rise up. We could crush resistance. For 1,825 days. You know what? That seems pretty good. Yeah, so your base target is now 8%. Syria declares independence. They declare war on the Ottoman Empire. I feel like you're not going to survive. That's just a hunch by me. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. We do have 218 political power. Why not get a little bit more war support? Follow that up with... We gotta have, like, a good commander, right? You know what? Just a plus 10% attack. Nationalist Algerian books have been seized. The stash is well hidden in the basement of a building in a narrow street of the European city of Algeria. Opening a door to the basement led to the sight of a full stock of nationalist literature. Most of it outrageously anti-French, and all of it strictly forbidden. All the books have been seized by the police, to not let them badly influence anyone again, and 2 Algerian presidents at the time of the intervention were arrested for treason. Further inquiry was established that the basement belonged to a young Pierre Noir, living in a district and sympathetic to the nationalist cause, who was consciously arrested too. Those Pierre Noirs betraying their own country was a real thorn in our feet, as they had been judged by French law, and defended accordingly. They can also use their privilege to easily build a web of Pierre Noir militants across the cities and rent places, like the one we had just raided to organize. But it also is a culture of disappointment. How bad is the education system for the youth to turn out treasonous as they are? So we are now at -6 political power, which is not so bad. I'm actually kind of okay with them rising up, because otherwise we're not going to get like this crush resistance modifier for, I think, 5 years. Okay, now there's a rebellion back in Mosaland. We don't really need to call our allies into this one. You have 2 to 6 divisions. But again, attacking them, I think Syria's joining Entente. I mean, that's not really what I saw happening. Okay then. They do have a direct border with us, so I guess we'll assign troops to this front line. Okay then. Again, that is not really how I saw this going. Portugal joining Entente before even the war in the middle of Europe. Okay, interesting. Actually, no. Apparently, they did have their war, or they did it peacefully. It's one of the two. I'm not too sure which actually. How close until Mali capitulates? They're very, very close. You want to join our wars? I think right now we're fine not going to war with the Ottoman Empire. But I mean, if the war against the Ottomans could break out like now, that would be pretty nice. And native aristocrats. For weeks now, the unceasing ballet of indigenous and the most colorful and awe-inspiring costumes had taken place. An immense tent of the manor of the Bourgeois was installed in the royal gardens, lavishly decorated in the Marseille style, overlooked with royal symbolism. It was there that King Jean, the high-bred French-Algerian regalia, has received hundreds of natives, all in some sort of traditional position of authority. Proud and dynamic, Tariq chiefs fully clad in their black cherishes, westernized Algerian sheiks conversing in fluent French, and mostly Mogao Naba, elected boors or kings of the Wolofs, and a noble prince of various Moorish tribes of Mauritania. Among so many others, all accompanied by their escorts, each one an ally, they have come to confirm their position and swear loyalty to the prince, the king of France, many even being awarded the French titles of nobility or decorations. One is a titled count, the other is awarded the Legion of Honor, another particularly loyal was made peer of the kingdom. This exchange diplomatic effort was deemed essential to build a stable foundation in the New Order of Africa. After all, these traditional elites and their peoples were called to sit in local assemblies alongside more minor notables with more authority than they had in the decades over their territories, even advising the colonial governments in exchange for their undying loyalty. The Republic and her foolish civilizing mission has sought to turn indigenous into Frenchmen. The monarchy only asked the indigenous to do one thing, to serve France and be ready to fight and die for his king. Okay, a little bit less resistance. I mean, we are fighting most of these people right now. Crisis on the Dawn, United States. Why are you giving me a pop-up? I've never seen a pop-up about that event before. Very interesting. When's the railway done? It's gonna be done now, actually. Okay. Or at least I believe it's finished. It's not in the list anymore. Syria's joined the war in India. Probably, like, not the best thing you could do. To be quite honest. Why are you not fighting here? Please help but fight this guy, please. Mal Shamir's capitulated. Nej is now here, which I guess is good for us. I didn't know the Entente could go to war with the Ottoman Empire. It's very unexpected. There's also 3 Ottoman troops. Actually, no, there's 5 Ottoman troops on our border right now, which seems bad. And the war, I think we just abandoned the Dominion of India. So goodbye, India. You are very much dead. We have 46 days of fuel left. Why? You don't actually generate that much. Let's go for factory output. Get that up a little bit. Okay, so Mali's close to capitulating. Directed by controversial and successful Albin Gans, a pioneer of filmmaking, well known for his historical dramas, as well as his indigenous editing and special effects technique, 20 years in the making. IQ is a particularly war story, taking French media by storm, telling a story of love rivals turning friends on the battlefields of the Great War. Before the futile death of one, and a slow descent into the cell-shocked insanity of the other. But it is the ending that are most divided by the opinion. As a crazed man who had vowed to end all wars, temporarily relapsed into sanity to find that the world is getting ready for a new great conflict. Springs in the action, and the supernatural storm calls on the millions of dead in the Wildkrieg, regardless of nationality, to rise from the grave and punish the living for their foolish obsession with mutual destruction. All over Europe, the dead are... it's a zombie movie! Pacifism? Absolutely not. No pacifism's allowed here. Okay, so I mean, the war Mali, like, it should be over soon. There we go, finally. Also, we did get some equipment out of it, which I do appreciate. How does Anthnwam have 40 points here? Gonna have to bring some questions there. Okay, but you've now been annexed. Fantastic. Draw our front line out. Crush Mali resistance. And you guys are not going to survive very long. So you know what? You right here. You all go up to the Ottoman border. Yes, and now the railway is complete. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to actually go up there. How long does it take, actually? Okay, so it takes 5 days to go to the other side of here. You know what? That's actually not so bad. Okay, well, we've taken your capital. You actually go this way. And, I mean, you're not going to survive for too much longer. Yeah, you're already at 25%. There's still a lot of rebellion over here. I mean, you're at 72. It's slowly going down. I mean, your target's actually now at, What are you targeting at now? 22%, local police force, resistance. And what are we going to do? Of course, we're going to crush mostly resistance. All of you guys head back up north. And I guess we invade the Ottoman Empire? Like, again, it's not really where I saw this campaign going. But if it's where the campaign is, then I guess I won't stop it. Okay, so the Assyrians are dead. Which is not a surprise. We didn't expect them to live for too much longer. Just go here, please. Okay, so now we're with the Ottoman Empire, which means we're going to bring our air force back up towards the north, fly them over to Tripolitania. How many planes do we have in reserve? Actually, like a decent amount. So, you know what? Let's put you up to, let's say, 300. Do the same with you. We're now with Yemen. I do see that we have some naval bombers as well. So, you know what? We might as well deploy them. Oh, never mind. The war's over because Assyria died. Okay, well... That's fine. Are you still worth India? Yeah, you're technically still worth the Ottoman Empire, which is a little bit strange, but that's okay. I don't know, Canada, really what you were expecting to do with Assyria there. But I guess... Now... We send volunteers to you? I mean, how many... Let's look at CNT, because they're a little bit scary, actually. They like no manpower. Which is good for us. If I send volunteers to you, you can send one troop. Up to 0 planes can go. Okay. 0 planes. What about you? 44 planes. Do I have any, like... You know what? You're decent units. Let's assign you under our best attack general. You guys can be the Red Army for a little bit of irony. And then we'll send you over to here. And that seems fine. I mean, even though you're not looking great, I will admit. How come Germany and everybody's, like, not sent any volunteers around? Like, you're not at war. And CND is getting volunteers from everybody in the Internationale. But I do think, at least right now, this is going to be a good time for us to end this video. So thank you very much for watching my Anthnwam. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoyed, you can always thumb down. If you want to see more, subscribe. And goodbye.